Good afternoon. I'm still going to be doing some inside reviews now because it's colder than, as my father would say, a well digger's butt in Alaska. So, tonight we're going to touch on Canadian whiskeys a little bit. I've done these reviews with Ron Therio on his channel. We did I was part of both the Rich and Rare and the Rich and Rare Reserve on his interview or live examinations. So you can go back through his channel and find those if you want. And I encourage you to do so. You'll get more than my opinion on it. I have not touched these whiskeys since the last review, which was this one. So tonight, it's going to be like hitting them kind of brand new. Rich and Rare is one of the best-selling, if not the best-selling, I think, whiskey that we kind of have around in the United States. And it's a price point thing, guys. It's not best-selling because you're getting this great product. You're getting a product to meet a price point. And that's what we got going on here. And that's all there is to it. These, I think this was between $9 and $10, I think is what I paid for this, maybe. $3.75, I think, was like $6.99 or $7.99. I don't remember exactly. You can look them up. They're both bottom shelves. You're going to find them on the bottom shelf. They're both going to be, they're just not very expensive whiskeys. They're Canadian whiskeys. It's a Sazerac product, imported and bottled in the USA by Sazerac in Frankfort, Kentucky. This is surprisingly the same bottle you will see on the old Charter 101 bottles. Caps are different, but with the little barley or wheat stalks you see, it's the very same one they use for that Charter 101 bottle. I think there's another one I've seen that's been used in this style of bottle as well. Anyway, that comes out of Buffalo Trace. And both are 40% alcohol by volume. They're both blends, Canadian blends. This one here will say on it, Canadian whiskey with natural colors. And that little black strip on the bottom there, if you can see it. This one does not. Now, whether it's located somewhere else on here that I couldn't find, I don't know. I have not noticed it. So maybe on the 750 it might say something different, but on the 375 here it doesn't. Very different product. Rich and Rare Reserve versus Rich and Rare. They do, when it says natural colors on it, it usually has some sort of, whether it be plum wine or that dark, think Concord grape type wine, that dark grapes, because on the nose, that's what I get. I get plum or that dark purple grapes, along with a little bit of barley, and a little bit of that acorn. And it's more of an acorn nose to it. And that's really about it. More of a nutty nose to this one. This one, this nose is more subdued than that nose. I get more oak than acorn. I don't get that plummy, fruity wine, dark fruit wine nose addition. Maybe a little brown sugar. Just a touch of rye comes through on this one. All right. Nose, palate now. you definitely get the brandy / wine additive in this. The acorn note becomes very pronounced. It's almost a imitation flavor, if you will. And it turns sour. And that sourness lingers a little bit. And it's that fruitiness. And there's it's the sweetness is a fruity sweetness that comes with it. And it still lingers. So I'm going to say this is really, and it's a sour medium finish on this one. Sorry, I didn't mean to slough so bad. You got to clean that palate out. Okay. More whiskey flavor. More, and I know that sounds crazy because I built both as whiskey, but it doesn't have that fake fruity flavor going on, that weird wonky fruity flavor going on. This has got, you get more of the oak from the barrel. It's weak, but you get the oak from the barrel. I get a marshmallow sweetness, touch of vanilla, but finishes quick. This one finishes quicker than that because we don't got that lingering sour note with this one that we do with that one. Makes this one much more appealing in a lot of ways. But the oak actually falls through to the end, and it is definitely an oak, that oak cask, once you've, or barrel, however, whatever terminology you prefer, that kind of stays with there and in there. And once you've had a few whiskeys, you begin to recognize that oak influence from that barrel. This one gives you more of it than that one does. Due to lack of oak influence, I think that's why they add the natural flavors. Kind of temper it, even it out, and it makes an overall consistent product. You can tell because this one, I don't know if in this light you can tell a difference or not, but this one is slightly darker, ever so slightly darker. In my room, between these two, the Rich and Rare Reserve is just a little bit lighter. Not much, but a little bit lighter. Just a slight shade off. And I think that's because you're getting more of the natural flavors, additives, whatever it is. I think it's up to 2% they can add. So, score-wise, I'm going to give this one a 75. I'm going to give this one a 69. I do not want to ever drink this one again if I can get out of it. I mean, it doesn't appeal to me. I know I say that and look how much I've drank out of the damn thing. But I drank so much out of this, and it was what we shall call a learning experience trying to get to know it. But do I ever want to drink it again or buy another bottle? No. 75 means if somebody offered this to me, I would take it. I would take it. But I would never invest in a bottle. If somebody offered me a drink of this, I wouldn't refuse it. I could drink it. But I wouldn't refuse. I wouldn't buy a bottle myself. Now, they're meant as mixers. Let's be real forward and real honest here. Both of these are really meant as mixers. And with the light fruitiness going on here, this would probably mix very well in a ginger ale or a Sprite sort of background. This one here is going to be your classic cola, I would think. Will probably mix well with this one better. The cola would do better with this one than this one because I think the fruitiness might clash a little bit with the cola. But I'm not a bartender or what they call mixologist nowadays. I'll leave that to those guys because they're far more knowledgeable about that than I will ever be. And I do have no other than a very cursory background knowledge in that area. That's about all I really have. That's really all I got to say about them, guys. They're both bottom shelves. And if I had to pick between the two, of course, this one's going to get the nod for me. This is meant for, I mean, let's be, if we're looking at all things being equal, this one's intended for if you walk in there and you've only got this much money in your pocket, how are you going to spend it on the bottom shelf? And this is going to be one of the contenders. I mean, let's just be honest with it. Or you're putting on a party and you want to buy a lot of alcohol on the cheap that people can just mix down. Then this becomes a contender. And that's where we see, I think, why it has such a large sales. It's because of the availability of being able to mix it with probably a variety of products. So that's what I get out of it. As far as neat whiskey drinking goes, neither one's going to wow you. They are what they are. So remember, the spirit in your glass isn't running from you. Take your time, sip, and enjoy it. You'll be better for it, as will we all. Everyone have a good evening.